Hey guys, it's Candace, and in today's QuickBooks tips and tricks, I want to show you if you are selling items, products, and services through PayPal, how you can use sales receipts to track them. In a previous video, I taught you guys how to create an invoice and then receive a payment, which is a two-step process. This is basically tracking accounts receivable and then getting paid later. A sales receipt is if you're providing a product and service and getting paid at the exact same moment. You can combine the two transactions and do it directly in one. That's the benefit of a sales receipt. So let's walk through what a sales receipt looks like. You can choose in a sales receipt, depending on how you're tracking your PayPal, you can either have each individual customer as a customer in QuickBooks, or you can have basically daily sales, online sales, where you put all your customers without tracking their individual names. For me personally, I have too many different customers that I work with that I only maybe sell 1, 2, 3 items to over the life of them being my customer. So for me, I don't track each individual customer because my customer list would just become too long. I offer two types of payments: Stripe, which is a merchant provider, and PayPal. PayPal, when you use them, they basically do one transaction at a time inside PayPal. Inside Stripe, they do batches. So depending on what type of merchant provider you're using, you'll have different techniques that you want to do. So if you're just doing one-off, want to track all your individual customers, you would pick your customer's name. If you don't need that and you want to summarize it, then you would just pick online sales, something like that. All right. Then the next thing to know is whether or not you want to use undeposited funds or if you want to put it directly in PayPal. What is the difference? If you go under Edit Preferences and you go under Payments, Company Preferences, you can choose whether you just automatically go into what's called undeposited funds, which is basically, think of it like a bank bag. You've received the money, but it hasn't actually went into your bank yet. It's sitting there. That's a really good example for PayPal because typically PayPal doesn't automatically get put into your account. It sits inside of PayPal till you move it. But I recommend, and I taught this in the last video, how to go into your chart of accounts, and you want PayPal to actually be a bank account. That way you can track the money coming in and the money going out of PayPal just like a bank account. All right. So in this example, you can either use undeposited funds where it sits there, or you can put it directly in PayPal. If you put it directly in PayPal, on the sales receipt, which I will show you in a moment, you will need to track your merchant cost, what it costs you for your merchant. But this can actually save you a lot of time. In the previous video, I taught you how to take the merchant fee out of the deposit itself. So what I would do is I would pick my online sales for me, for example, pick PayPal. Then here I would make sure if you don't already have it set up, I taught this in the last video as well, make sure you have a new payment method called PayPal and make sure it's set up as cash so it doesn't try to process your credit card for you. Choose PayPal, pick the date that the sale happened, the day that it processed through PayPal. Then come down here and you're going to pick, just like on an invoice, your items. The benefit of doing this is that it allows you to pull a lot of extra reports to track what's actually happening with the products and services that you're selling. So let's say that we picked online course, are doing one customer at a time, just like it was processed through PayPal. Then what I do is I actually choose PayPal. I set PayPal up. It's going to an expense account, and that's okay. I set PayPal up by clicking New, creating an other charge, setting up PayPal, and then I put PayPal back to a merchant fee, and they're non-taxable. Okay? And then I click OK, and that creates my PayPal account, my PayPal item. Then I come over here, and you are going to choose the percentage or the cost. So when you log into your PayPal, it's going to tell you what the fee was. So you're going to have the total charge, and then below that, it's going to tell you what their rate they charged. You want to make sure it's a negative number, because what it will do is you'll see down here at the bottom, I'm going to put directly in, because I'm doing it as a sales receipt, into PayPal, the product and service I sold, and I'm going to do the total amount that came out as a merchant fee, and this is the amount that actually went into my PayPal account. Okay. If you had 5 or 6 items that one customer purchased for a sale, you can do that. If you want to be able to summarize because you have a whole lot going on within your PayPal and you want to do a daily transaction, that's fine. You just want to make sure that when you, however you're doing it, you're able to track accurate records. Okay. And then you're going to click Save and Close. Now, when I go look at my check register inside PayPal, I'm going to see my sales receipt right here. And if you hit Control Y, it shows you what happened, which is your bank account increased by the amount that you actually got with PayPal, the PayPal bank account. And then your sales increased, and then your merchant fee. And I'll show you on a profit and loss because people like to see that sometimes. Exactly what happened. There is your income and there's your expense, all handled at one time. All right. Now you can do, let's say, for example, you didn't want to handle your PayPal directly on the sales receipt because you want to send it to your customer. You don't want them to see it, something like that. What you could do, keep this to undeposited funds, leave it the way it is, just like normal. Then when you go over here to record your deposit, you're going to choose your item. You're going to choose PayPal if that's where the money went. Then in here, you're going to pick PayPal, merchant fees, PayPal if you want. You can put that there. And then you're going to put whatever amount you paid, $24, $14. That was what I did, $24.91. And then that would be the amount you deposited. And the merchant fee would be handled in the deposit, similar to what I taught in the last video. I'll make sure I link the last video up above so you can watch that if you want. But these are 2 different options. You can either take the merchant fees out inside the deposit itself or on the sales receipt, depending on who sees the sales receipt. It's quickest and easiest to do it here because it's a 1-step process. But if you do need to give your sales receipt to a customer, you can do it in the deposit and they won't see it. I hope this helps you guys realize there's a few different ways to handle PayPal. I'm going to create another video on PayPal, but it's going to be about what do you do when you have to refund a customer? How do you track that inside of QuickBooks? I look forward to seeing you guys inside the next video. I hope you enjoy this. Don't forget to subscribe. If you need help with QuickBooks, feel free to check out Confidence with QuickBooks, my online course that takes you from the beginning to the end if you're a brand new user or you've been trying to figure out QuickBooks, but you've really been struggling trying to do it on your own. The course does come with support, so you can ask me questions and I answer them inside of the course, as well as if you enjoyed this tip and you'd like to receive them in your inbox, feel free to go up above or down below and join with your email and I'll send them directly to you. And if you need help cleaning up your QuickBooks or fixing something and you want more of a private session, you don't need the full course, feel free to check out up above or down below. I'll have a link for my private sessions. Have an amazing day. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next tip. Bye-bye.